Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yeah, Jay, what's up? Oh, feel it.
I do. I feel it.
Feel the drum
Yep.
kits. Getting the beat going. I mean, it's kind of an old go-to, you know?
Absolutely.
Off the show. I mean, the drum kits get things riled up, you know? And, you have to get riled up when you're talking about the New England Patriots, right?
Every day. Every weekend.
Welcome, one and all, to another edition of Patriots Wrap 360. It's not really another edition. This is the first edition. We like to get going here and the weeks between week 6 and week 7 of the NFL season.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing the Red Sox podcast. You know, I feel like maybe people are missing my dulcet tones for talking about sports. So I had to kind of just smooth it right into the Patriots show, you know?
Yeah.
I can understand that.
They had a bye week, I guess. So, you know.
I'm not missing too much. Only 5 weeks, right? We can catch it all up on. Alongside a former Colby jackass Jason Cherella, I'm Mike Conley. Aren't they the jackasses?
Yeah, well, we like to say mules. Mules are probably.
Mules. Mules. Right. Very good. I'm Mike Conley. This is your weekly rudderless discussion on all things Patriots. Patriots Wrap 360. Thanks for being with us all. You can find us on iTunes, YouTube, or at AFTERBUZZTV.com. What's going on with the Pats? I mean, we have to really get to the latest news that everybody's talking about, and that is, does Coach Belichick have herpes? Or what is that shit going on his lip?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, right?
Right.
It's come out a few times. It's like, it's not there necessarily every game, but maybe every third game.
I mean, why not ask the question? Because, I mean, he's not going to answer all the questions you got written down on your notepad when you go in there. So why not throw him off base a little bit with a herpes question? I'm quite sure it's just a cut shaving or something. It doesn't look like a growth or anything, but it is like a cut.
Yeah.
Like right here on the lip.
And it's a little high, you know. It's like under his nose. It's not near his lips necessarily, maybe.
Yeah.
But I have noticed
it's a little dicey.
It is.
It's a little dicey. But hey.
It doesn't seem to bother him.
Whatever the guy has to do in his personal life in order to keep winning football games, I'm all for it, and I promote it entirely. Because the guys, did you read that Yahoo article a couple days ago, Dan Wetzel, I think, about how Belichick intimidates the other coaches, and maybe that has something to do with Pagano pulling the bonehead move he did?
Right. What I mean, basically, you're talking about the herpes, like maybe like just stay away.
Yeah. Well, we're going to put the herpes to bed. We're going to get back to talking football. And what more to talk about is there in that Colts play than the bonehead play? Yeah. And why shouldn't Pagano get all the credit for that?
Well, I mean, I think he kind of took it. I mean,
begrudgingly though, it seemed.
Yeah, I mean,
he was kind of blaming it on the players. And sure, the players didn't do that because they didn't know what to do because the new guy who's not in there the way he practiced it. That's on who to make sure the new guy knows what he's doing? On the coaching staff.
I agree.
Right.
I agree. And
it's a very well-paid position.
And it was ugly. I mean, they pretty much outsmarted themselves, and you know they thought they would come in with some trickery and pull it on the Pats, but I mean, I have to
flip the scripts.
I mean, what is Wayland doing? At a certain point, he has to say to himself like, "This it's not going to work. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't hike the ball."
Well, that's the thing, and it came out, and it's unbelievable how free with his mouth this punter Pat McAfee is, and like he's just totally dogging his
always
coach.
Has been.
Oh yeah, always has been. I love it. But so he's saying that originally it was supposed to be this safety like Weathers or something. He got injured in the second quarter. He returned later in the game, but when they were doing that, Griff is his replacement in that position and didn't practice that particular thing. He practiced them doing it like to try and get him no, he didn't even know. Like, they put in like another addendum. Oh, we're going to try and get him off sides or 12 minutes, and then don't snap it at all. But they told that to the first string special teams. So then when it came to him, he got all fouled up. And so, I mean, it's things that don't happen on a Bill Belichick-led ship. I'll tell you that.
Oh, it's a tight ship. And quite honestly, that play in itself, I think, potentially lost the game for the Colts. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, they gave him the ball, and they scored right off of that. They put him up by 13, I believe, at that point.
Yep, absolutely. That put him up 13. And it was kind of like a one-score game going back and forth, really seesaw, up until that point. And then, like, they just do that bonehead play, give the ball over the Pats, at their 33, short field, boom.
Yeah, I mean, look, everyone, the Pats, like you said, they run a tight ship, and a couple weeks back, I think it was maybe after the Buffalo game or during the Buffalo game, I thought this was pretty cool that the ref had said something to Bill about him having the best sideline in the game in the NFL, and I thought to myself, like, now that is a remarkable compliment, because nothing more, having a great sideline just spells discipline,
right?
And to me, that just says everything about the Pats and how that separates them from every other team in the league.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, what did they mean by you have the nice sideline? Like, nobody goes past the white, like they're on past the line.
No one's crossing over. It's clean. It's everyone's disciplined on that sideline. Hey, okay, if you're not on the field, you're on the bench. Like, only certain men up, only certain people go so far. I mean, he keeps a tight sideline. He keeps a tight bench. Right. That's where success starts, really, if you're asking me. And I think that. And of course, I think that was during the Buffalo game, and you look across the sideline, you got that gong show happening, which, like they get all hyped up, and he's got the animals running out the barn.
Oh yeah,
and
put a ring around that circus.
And they got a ton of penalties that game. Yeah. I mean, the Buffalo did.
The Rex era not off to the best start up there.
Oh,
they're 3-3 though. Yeah.
I mean, think about where he came from. He came from the Jets. Everyone thought the Jets were going to be horrible this year.
Yeah.
And he goes to Buffalo, and everyone thought Buffalo was going to be, a real contender this year. So he's left the Jets, gone to Buffalo, and they're doing worse than the Jets. I mean, this doesn't.
It's just perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's great. I mean, I just don't. Not good for Sexy Rex.
Sexy Rexy, you gotta love him. Oh man, but do you think there is any? I totally agree with you that Belichick is obviously going to have a disciplined team. It's that upbringing he has, being at the Naval Academy all these years when his dad coached there and all, what have you. And that discipline is in his blood. Obviously, a disciplined team is going to play better. It makes sense. But do you think there's anything to that credence that he's in other coaches' heads and stuff? I mean,
yeah, I think we kind of saw that. I think you kind of. You're kind of bringing that up because of the whole Pagano situation. I think that, like, honestly, going into that game, I think Pagano really tried to out-game plan Belichick, and he out-game planned himself in some ways.
That's exactly what he said. And he said that, like, we had to be aggressive in all three phases of the game in order to beat this guy and all this stuff. Basically telling your team that doing our normal program isn't going to be good enough, We have to do something else. So he kind of got in his head. And, like, not only that, I mean, that was the most glaring and recent example, but even like earlier in the year, like that whole stuff with Tomlin and saying like about the headsets and it always happens up here,
Mm-hmm.
They bring up that in the Yahoo article, and he doesn't say boo when there's that clock malfunction. He gets a win in San Diego. He doesn't say anything. Oh, I'm not looking for answers, all that stuff. So there could be something to it. And I mean, sure, that's awesome. That's NFL warfare. That's the mind game that goes along with being a coach. He's like, of course, that's what I do. That's my intent. Why not? Oh, I love the guy. He can go lick toilet seats at a rest area anytime he wants.
Well, I one of my favorite parts of that Indy game was the shot of Grigson up in the booth there, up in his suite. And it just, I don't know.
The GM, right? The GM.
The GM. And, the shot of him, he was there by himself. There was no one next to him. And he was just there all alone. And I just thought, and they basically said, here's the guy that, blew the whistle on the balls being under deflated.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the shot, just being like, yeah, there he is. There's the guy all by himself, no friends, you know? And I say, like, really? Like, that's what you want to do is, like, that's how you're going to try to win this game is talk about a 1 PSI, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, I say to myself, like, he couldn't have grown up playing street hockey and, like, you know, against a team that maybe the kid has an illegal stick.
Yeah.
He went home and told mom.
Yeah.
Mom showed up the next day at the street hockey game, you know? And that's who I saw when I looked at that shot in the press box.
Yeah.
That's who I saw.
He took his PVC net and he went home.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Oh,
you
boy.
know?
I hate those guys.
Nah. I mean, yeah, he has curve your stick and go out there and beat him the next day. You know, keep your mouth shut. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, the balls are undeflated.
Yeah.
I mean, he lost 45-7. I mean, Tom Brady could be throwing bricks and they still would have won by 2 touchdowns.
It's true that.
Yeah.
True that.
I mean, I don't know how many times I had to hold myself in the offseason from slapping somebody across the face that brought up Deflategate, you know?
Well, I'll be honest. I thought there would be a lot more talk about that leading into the Colts game.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the media didn't really pounce on it, maybe. And I was obviously relieved.
Yes. And you know who we have to thank for that?
Who do we have?
Double B, baby.
Double B?
Belichick and Brady.
Just ignoring it.
Just ignoring it and staying the course.
They do.
You know, not on to Cincinnati, but just like, we focus on the game at hand.
Yeah.
Because someone asked him in this like thing the other day, like the comparisons of this team to the 07 team, like the 07 team. I'm like almost rooting for a loss versus the Jets this week, so we can put this whole 07 thing to bed and this whole undefeated thing.
Yeah.
Because if they get by the Jets, they have a schedule that shapes up pretty good until they meet the Jets again.
Yeah, I see that. And you know, going into the season, I didn't think that this Jets game was going to be as tough as I am now seeing it to be.
Right.
Like, that's a pretty good team, and they got a good defense, and it's going to be...
Number 1 rated defense in the league.
So it's going to be a great test.
Versus the top rated offense. I'm psyched. Let's come back to that in a little bit. You know, we just want to put this Colts game to bed a little bit, and you know, because this is our first show out of the gate, we talk about anything we obviously didn't talk about before in previous shows. But who's impressing you in this early season, Jay? You know, somebody that maybe you didn't know about, who's really busted on the scene, or somebody you didn't think was quite a player before, and really just opening your eyes.
Well, I mean, obviously, we could start with Dion Lewis. I mean, the guy's incredible, and to think like, wow, this guy didn't really hadn't had a chance really in the NFL, and to see how quick he is. I mean, the cuts he makes. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I'm just a little concerned of how long he's going to last.
Durability, yeah.
But yeah, he sure has been impressive, and you know, Malcolm Butler. I mean, pretty impressive. Like, he went from basically obscurity to
Super Bowl hero
with the interception to now like the shutdown corner. Like, that doesn't happen every day. Like, and he's really taken that role and run with it, and he owns it, and he owns it. He's got the swag.
Yeah, I've been real impressed with that. You'd have to say coming into the season, like the two biggest question marks were going to be the defensive backfield and probably the offensive line, most specifically the interior offensive line. Especially with Stork getting hurt in preseason.
You know, I think he's coming back, right?
Yeah, well, he was at practice today, which was lovely. Mm-hmm. So he's not available till week 9 because he's on that IR, short-term IR designated to return. So week 9 is the earliest we'll see him. So that's great. But a guy like David Andrews in this early season has really impressed me. Yeah. You know, and I'm just like, and I'm so and like Klein and Shaq Mason and, you know, Jackson when he's in there. These guys are great. They said during the telecast the other day that Shaq Mason is the most athletic offensive guard that McDaniels has ever coached.
Yeah, McDaniels is pretty hyped up on this guy, and you know, like, they say he's got some of the best balance on the line, and he can blow holes open for Mr. Blunt.
Mr. Blunt, who doesn't really need any help usually.
No.
Blunt force trauma to your head.
But what do you think about depth? Though, like, I feel like
running back depth.
I'm just saying that Colts game, there's some injuries.
Yeah,
And it started to, make me a little bit nervous, and I started to think about some of the depth that we do have. And to me, running back, yeah. Yeah, we got Bolden, James White, but yeah, but no.
None of those names really blow your skirt up.
No, they don't. And like Dion Lewis is great, and he fumbled two or three times in the first couple weeks.
Right. But we have no depth where we can just bench him, teach him a lesson.
I got used to that.
Yeah.
I got used to that. You drop the ball, you go to the bench. That did not happen, and we haven't seen that not happen in some years.
Yeah, well, I mean, that seemed like that always happened to one guy, and that one guy was Stephen Ridley.
Right. Well, did it not happen to Jonas Gray, though, last year?
Well,
or maybe that was just because he slept in.
He slept in, missed that meeting. So after getting 4 touchdowns versus these very same Colts, he went ahead and,
he deserved the extra nap, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, enjoy your bus ticket out of town.
Yeah.
But eventually. Yeah. But he's with the Dolphins, I think, nowadays.
Yeah.
But, I don't worry about depth too much at the running back position. I mean, there's always kids that are willing to be running the ball because it used to be a glamour position. Now, not so much. It's just they run you out, get your, 3,000 carries or whatever you're going to have in your career and send you along your way. Maybe it's not 3,000. Maybe it's more like 2,000. But so I don't really worry about that. Even like going through the draft, I don't even like spending picks on running backs. I don't think really he does either. Belichick. It's just you got to get offensive linemen, you got to get defensive linemen, and maybe corners. And all the others, he can find value out there, and a quarterback, obviously. Right. And all the others you find out there in free agency.
I mean, look, like he's always patchworked that defense. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. Coming into every year we start off and we always question the defense, and by week 11. We're like, this defense is great,
right.
And like every year, we always let go of our best corner. I mean, it's just every year, and we all like, freak out, and somehow we recover and everything's fine. So I in Bill we trust.
Yeah, indeed, in Bill we trust, and it was kind of like. Not shocking, but a little unnerving to lose your top 2 cornerbacks, and you're like, that was kind of how you played defense last year. You had 2 lockdown corners, so you can afford to play with all the rest of your pieces, and just now it seems we have to rely on generating a pass rush, so those guys don't have to cover that long. Now, the pass rush has been there sometimes, and it hasn't been there. I think some of the sacks they got the other day were actually coverage sacks because the D-backs were doing good. So I want to see more out of the pass rush. I think the corners are really showing themselves. And, you talk about that issue of depth and being alarmed about it at running back, but obviously where I'm alarmed about is linebacker somewhat. The other day they were mostly a nickel. The other day they had Harmon in there playing a lot and only playing with 2 linebackers. Mayo is like, I don't know if they're bringing him back slowly or whatever, but out of like 80 defensive snaps, he played like 22. He was splitting time with Jonathan Freeney. And like Collins is in there the whole time, sure.
Right.
But they played a lot of nickel out of respect to Freeney. They wanted to guard him with the safety and stuff, so that's why Harmon was in there. But I also think linebacker is a position where you can find value kind of whenever you want it. I mean, that's why like they pick up that guy Bostic, mostly a special teamer, but so wasn't Freeney. Now he's getting integrated in the defense.
Yeah.
I mean, BB, great defensive mind. So he's going to like get more out of these kids than they ever have before. He's going to be the best defensive coach they've ever had. So they're going to like tap into like strengths they didn't even know were strengths until he brought it out in them. So I love the Jabal Sheard pickup, So there's always in the offseason there's guys out there whose teams, due to salary cap restraints, mismanaging their money, they can't get these guys that maybe they do want back in the fold. And that's when BB comes and pluck.
Yes.
Because that Jabal Sheard is an absolute pluck.
Right.
He's a monster.
Oh, speaking of
he got hurt the other day.
Yeah, I think it's minor. They're saying minor. So,
but I think he might have been out of practice today. But it's here on one of my papers.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think it's a major concern.
Major.
Which I think, what about Slater? I mean, that's been real hush hush. They haven't really said anything. What
Slater was at practice today.
He was,
yes.
But he didn't practice.
Limited practice. He was running some drills and stuff,
which is
great,
because I didn't even know if he was going to be walking.
Right. He was lifted off the field the other day by his teammates.
Right.
Was on crutches post game.
It was a knee thing. It was a little scary.
A little scary.
You know, I mean, to
scary.
me, that guy is a little bit.
Indispensable.
Yeah, he's the heart. He's a little bit of the heart of the team.
Yeah.
You know.
And that it's overused all the time, mostly in basketball. But that coach on the floor, the coach on the field, definitely Matthew Slater. You know, for that special teams unit.
Yes. And speaking of other impressive players, because we're talking about
Special teams.
no, Jamie Collins.
Oh,
I mean, he's been a beast. Beast.
I mean, the guy is just a physical freak.
Yeah.
You know,
That was
I mean,
a
it's
pretty
just
impressive leap, eh? The block.
very nice leap. And like, if he touches his teammates, boom, that's a flag.
Right.
So no, I'm just an athletic freak who can leap over, small cars. I'm gonna just leap over this line.
You know, I think it was in an interview.
Excellent scouting by BB again. He noticed they were low.
Yeah.
in the
Well,
middle.
I mean, I think that's part of the play,
Right.
if you will. I think it's designed to get him low so he can come over the top. Which to me, in some ways, I felt like, you do that once, it's not going to be as easy to do again. I'm not quite sure we needed to do it there.
Well, I actually think that maybe we did, because if he hits that extra point, then the Pats are up 6.
Nah, I know,
You know,
I know.
instead of 7. you
It's
know?
true.
So I
I'll
know
take it.
you weren't really focusing on that. You were focusing more on covering 9.5 or 8.5 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Are you over that now? I mean,
I moved on.
how are the Pats doing this year against the spread?
That was the first time. I usually don't do that.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
For entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, I try to stay away from the home team Pats.
Of course.
So, because it leaves a bad taste in your mouth when you win. You're like, could you really just got a couple more points out of it? Did you have to let the Colts drive down the field and score that touchdown? Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So let that be a lesson. It won't happen again.
Right.
That's it. I'll move forward.
There you go. All right, to finally put maybe a period on my point, it's not so much the linebackers I'm worried about, but the depth at cornerback is a little worrisome now, with all the guys we kind of brought in the offseason going down, and what's his name going on IR?
Terrell Brown.
Yeah, Terrell Brown. So it's looking pretty thin. But another guy who I've never really been a big fan of, but is really winning me over these last couple of weeks, Logan Ryan.
Yes.
Obviously the 2-pick game last week was Dallas that kind of was like showed, but Sunday he had a good game. And I was really impressed with him. And like even that Hilton touchdown, his coverage was decent on that. And was the coverage was decent from Malcolm too on the first touchdown, on Moncrief's touchdown. And Moncrief kind of hit him in the face.
Yeah.
That Chandler, that offensive PI he got later in the game because he hit the dude in the face.
That's right.
That's a little bit of because of a big guy. It's a little bit of discrimination against the big guy.
Right.
But Moncrief's no small guy either. He hits a little. What about Malcolm's matchup this week? Well, he's about 5'10", and he's going up against like the 6'4", 6'5" behemoth Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, how big is Antonio Brown?
Oh, Antonio Brown's only like 6 feet. But he's a speedster.
Yeah, I mean, Malcolm, he's definitely, like I was saying to you during that game, that is a little bit of concern. Once he gets a little bit older, he loses a little bit of that athleticism. I think it's going to be good night.
Looking for work.
Yeah, he'll be looking for work.
He's going to go back and work at Circuit City or wherever he was working before.
But, by the way, if you're worried about the depth of the cornerback position, well, we could just stick Edelman back there again. Didn't he play that, a couple years back?
Bring Troy Brown out of
Yeah, bring Troy Brown.
But, so once Butler and Logan Ryan go down, then it's like newly acquired Rashawn Melvin and undrafted free agent Justin Coleman backing them up. So that's a little bit scary. I guess McCourty having some good cover skills, being a former, cornerback. He was covering some guys the other day. That gives you a little bit of versatility, but that's a little bit scary. But I also think, like I'm saying before, he can get defensive players,
Yeah.
But corners are a lot tougher to find than linebackers. There's no doubt about that. But also where we're having some death issues is offensive tackle. Obviously, Solder gone for the year. That alarmed me maybe a little bit more than alarmed you. You're not a big Solder fan, right?
No.
I mean,
I've had a tough time with him.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I feel like he gets beat a lot.
He doesn't strike me as somebody that has that hard edge.
Yes, exactly.
which is what you need out of that left tackle spot. I think somebody who's a real asshole. And but he seems like too nice a guy to play that. So I don't know. But yeah. So what happened the other day is once he got hurt, Cannon goes in. Obviously, Cannon starts the left tackle, and then so we think we're all set there. And then he messes up his toe, so he's out.
Again,
not that big an injury. Hopefully.
Not that big of an injury. That's what they're saying. I don't know, but what do we know?
He could be out this week.
Yeah, he could be.
But what's his name came in and did pretty good. Fleming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was good. Seabass moves over to left tackle. Insert old boy Fleming at right tackle. He made a pretty good account of himself. He played pretty well.
Yeah, and I feel like Brady did abnormally. Usually he gets the ball off pretty quick.
Yes.
But he
that's going to have to continue.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have to continue. But I feel like he was a little bit more mobile maybe in that Colts game, I thought.
The thing that, this guy is such a perfectionist, and I think he works on things in the offseason and comes in improved every year at something or other. His footwork and his ability to sense and feel the rush seems to improve every year.
Yeah. Yes.
And I understand. Yeah. The one in particular, I think what you might be talking about is when he shovels up in the pocket very good without watching the rush.
Yep.
But this was one where he had to break out on the right side and hit Blount.
Yes.
For that receiver.
That's right.
That was nice.
Yes.
That was nice. Little throw on the run.
Yeah.
Boom.
I feel like in that game he had to move a little bit more than usual, but. It's like you said, he has this sense of where people are, and he knows when to go down, when he needs to go down. And I think it was Randy Moss said to him early in the season, he told me, he said, Tom, I feel like the game's really slowed down for you. And it really, when I'm watching it, it seems like that. Like he's very calm. He moves in, he moves out. He's on fire right now. This year, listen. Yeah. He can say what he wants. He's saying all the politically correct things.
We know. We saw it at the end of Spygate, and this is even worse than that because he's singled out.
Yes.
So there is a vendetta.
Yes.
There's no doubt. B is for vendetta.
Yeah.
B is for vendetta. and Brady.
And tell me this, though. Don't you think that this season is one of the most exciting seasons? For me, it is. I've been a Pats fan my whole life. My dad used to take me when they were terrible. We'd go buy tickets to the windows, sit in the front row, and watch every Friday.
Go you, Millen.
Yeah. And now, I feel like even the first Super Bowl, even that year, there was excitement. But you got to remember, it was we were rolling with Drew, and it wasn't until he got hurt, then Tom came in. And then all of a sudden it was like, wait, what's going on? And then you got excited and you're like, oh my, we won the Super Bowl. It just happened like that.
Yeah.
And in this year, it's like, you have the Super Bowls. You almost get used to it a little bit. Sorry, but this year
we're spoiled fans now.
Yeah, we are kind of spoiled.
Very much.
But this year, there's just that renewed passion or something. It's like every game I feel like I'm on the edge of my seat because I want to win.
Yeah.
Every game.
Right.
Every single game.
So Brady can get vindicated.
Yeah. Just every single time. And it's so it's just made this season just really refreshing.
Yeah.
It's just this is a good one. I'm really excited. Right from week one.
Jump Street.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So it's fun. It's been real fun. And Tom is like you said, he's like, yeah, it's all. He's skipping the interviews at the end of the games right now.
Yeah.
He's basically like, nah, I'm done.
Oh, did he skip it? I thought he did a post-game.
No, he left. He didn't do the.
He did it the following morning or something?
He didn't do they wanted to do a post-game interview with him on NBC.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah, he's not doing that.
He was like, no, and he didn't do it.
Podium? Did he do podium, though, I think?
Oh, yeah, he did press.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he didn't do the TV, the national TV, interview. And he's basically, and they ask him about it, and he says, Oh, I want the other guys that I've had plenty of time. I've been in great, unique positions, and I've got to enjoy this limelight. I want some of the other guys to enjoy it.
What a selfless attitude.
Yeah, really.
Just when you think that guy can't be any more of a gentleman, he goes ahead and proves you wrong.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even ask him about his dad, because his dad said, "Oh, I hope they put up 60 on the Colts."
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Because the true passion you have to get through his dad, not hit Tom.
Yeah.
But Tom will then back him up and say, "Yeah, no, well, we want to score 60 every game."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This guy is so good. He just has the blueprint on how to do it. All in all, though, I think you got to tip your hat to the Colts. I mean, if they didn't have their coach on the sideline, they might have won that game. I mean,
wow. Wow.
They played very spirited. I mean, for a team that has really got the ball run down their throat the last 4 times we played them, Blount had 93 yards rushing, on 16 carries, 5.8. That sounds pretty good, but that long TD run of 38, if you knock that off, they're pretty stout. So those moves they made, bringing in the Stanford guys at D tackle, Parry and Anderson and stuff, they look like they've gotten more stout on defense. So, but there is that Belichick over Pagano advantage we always
Colts,
have.
The defense, they look good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, they kept it close.
Good job, Colts. Buck up, little campers. Our D obviously played better in the second half, only giving up 6 points in the second half. I thought we looked a little soft in that area, right, in the middle area a little bit, because of Hightower's absence, So I'd like to get him back. Also a nice day for Danny Amendola, 105 yards receiving on 7 catches. He had some big catches.
Yes, and I've been kind of waiting for that game, and I thought it was it would have been last week's game, but he had a couple big long passes that were called back courtesy of Edelman. I think he was offsides or holding or something.
Edelman had a sick block on one of his catches, though. It was like a 3rd and 17 in the 4th, I think, or the 3rd, and they were driving down, and I think it was maybe right before the half, and he converted that. So that ended up getting 3, but the sick block.
Yeah, Edelman had a few drops, though, didn't he, against that Colts team?
He did. Well, he messed up on his touchdown catch. He messed up his finger.
Yeah.
And so then he had the biggest one being that pick 6 that bounced right off his hand. He tipped it right in the guy's hand. And Brady, that's Brady's only pick of the season.
I know.
He's 14 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Right.
I hope he ends up, 44-1. And that's the one thing. And he can have something to, joke with him on the swan boats about, or the duck boats, Oh, a little presumptuous? A little too early? Think so. I'm going to get back to my Belichickian fandom, and I'm just concentrating on one team, Jay. And that team is the New York Jets. Let's talk a little bit about the New York Jets. This isn't your grandmother's Jets. This isn't your Rex's Jets anymore. Todd Bowles has come in there, defensive mastermind. He's got them playing great. Top-rated defense in the league right now. We're going in. Pats are undefeated. That sounds all well and good, but let me just throw this stat at you. Tom Brady, total QBR rating 73.2. That's put him 6th in the league. Standing at 5th at 76.6, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Of the New York Jets.
Well, I think there might be an investigation right now on Bowles, because I think he may have paid that guy to
slug old, what's his name, Gino?
I'm not saying
that kid's the MVP so far of the Jets season.
I mean, I think you're right. As soon as that happened, I knew the Jets were a better team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
no question.
It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game, and I don't have a whole lot of confidence.
Wow.
I'm always
err on the side of being uneasy.
Yeah,
let the Pats put it at ease.
It's a rival game. It's a division game. It's you lose one of those every year. Mm-hmm. And it's always maybe it's Buffalo, maybe it's Miami. This year, I just hope it's not the Jets.
Right. Because coming into the season, I was like, whoa, Miami. It seems like their quarterback's getting good. They just totally bolstered their defensive line with the stud. But they have 3 sacks on the season or something. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I had the Jets in last place.
Yeah. I with Geno Smith in there, I was 6-10. They're lucky.
Yeah, exactly.
And now they're out to 4-1.
Yeah. I mean, they win this game. They're tied in first.
It's insane.
They're in first, actually. They'll be in first over the Pats. So
I like that Todd Bowles. You know why? Big tuna coaching tree. So he's got that same, like, I'm going to be wicked low-key in the thing, complimentary of the other team. It's like, finally, some of these AFC East teams are catching on that this is the blueprint in order to win. I mean,
Well, Buffalo
the
didn't
Jets,
catch on.
thank God, they didn't catch on. Thank God they took the same blowhard that blew up the Jets for like 6 years. I love it.
Well, what's going on in
I love
Miami?
having Rex in the division still.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they got that dude making them primates again.
Oh, he's
Dan
the
Campbell.
youngest coach in the league right now.
Also, Parcells' coaching tree. You know, he played for Parcells. You know,
right?
but yeah, I mean, he seems to got him playing spirited ball down there. We'll see. But focusing on the Jets, what scares you in particular of them? Anything? Like I mean, it's got to be the defense.
Yeah, it's obviously the defense. So to me, as long as I think the Pats can handle any defense in the league. I mean, are they gonna? Will Tom throw a pick here? I mean, are they gonna throw up 60 points? No, but I think that they score 24.
Right.
And to me, I think our defense, the Pats defense, can handle the Jets offense. The Jets offense it's a managing offense.
Right.
And if we can just disrupt them and stop Ivory, I mean, I think Ivory's
been a beast so far. And Frank Gore looked pretty good this past weekend running the football versus the interior of our line.
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw it in week 1 with Pittsburgh. They just tore up the line.
But I mean, that kind of goes to how the Pats have been the past few years, like that bend but don't break.
That's right.
You know, I kind of thought about that on the first drive the other night. Oh, this is that bend but don't break, holding the 3, and then eventually the Colts punched it in. But even still, I was like, at least they're making them drive the field, and they're not giving up big plays. Let them get those 8 or 10 yard runs. Don't let them get a 25-yard bomb. Because you're putting 8 in the box. But.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really watched the Jets this year, only because they kind of crept up on me. I didn't really have them on my radar at all this year, and so to me, now staring at them, I'm like, okay, well, I'm very interested to see what this game is gonna show.
Yeah. I mean, they had to be on your radar somewhat. I mean, they took our Super Bowl winning cornerback, and they look pretty tough. I mean, they're kind of employing that same defense where they have Cromartie on one side, they have Revis on the other. They have a good slot corner and bust the screen, and then they just throw a bunch of blitzes at you, and you have all those other players to play with because you have these lockdown guys.
Right.
So I'm a little bit. This will be a big test for that interior offensive line of the Patriots because they're going to try and get, because that's all we've been seeing is like you have edge rushes, boom, they form a pocket, he steps up, but you get that pressure right up in the middle of Brady's face. That's the only way you can get to this guy,
And who do you anticipate having? Who's going to have to come through?
It's going to be, I mean, when I look at Gronk, Gronk's got to have a big game because they don't have an answer for him.
I mean, he was pretty silent last week, wasn't he?
He was. I mean, they played a lot. It seems like they were trying to take him out of it. They played a lot of zone in the first half, and then seems like they got into more man-to-man in the second half, and that's when the beast came alive.
Yeah.
He had those 3 catches and 50 yards right there, like the first half of the third quarter. And I mean, just give me one of those a week where he just catches something in the open field and just uses his tree trunk of a friggin' arm to stiff arm some dude into the turf. It's unbelievable.
It kind of looks like a high school kid playing Pop Warner.
It really is.
Yeah?
It really is.
Yeah.
It's that kid like, okay, he's too big, he can't carry the ball.
Right.
He can, he's a D tackle.
Right.
D tackle, low tackle. He can't carry the ball.
It's like
He's too
that
big.
dad playing with a bunch of kids, and you're like, why is that dad being so rough on the kids? Right? That Thanksgiving game we used to play?
Yeah.
And you're like, wow.
Take it easy, Dad.
Yeah.
All right. Scrimmage hero. But, all right, yeah, so just today in practice, not participating, Marcus Cannon with that toe.
Yeah.
Rufus Johnson. Shaq Mason with a knee. Hopefully that gets better because he played the other day.
Yeah.
Jabal Shared is an ankle. So they did not participate. Limited participation, Hightower, Klein, Dion Lewis, Matthew Slater with the knee. So that's great.
Yeah, I don't think you see Hightower this week.
I don't think you see Hightower this week either. I think he's next week after that. So, and
What about LaFell?
LaFell was back at practice today too. The window started on him coming off the pup now. So now they have 21 days to get him off the pup. So he'll be off in that window. I don't think you'll see him next week. But
I don't either.
I'm impressed with what we saw out of Keyshawn Martin.
Yes.
And, you
yes.
know, I mean, kind of a new guy to the club. I love the coaching tree and just spreading out the guys, because then Bill O'Brien may have to cut a guy. He rings up old Billy Boy and says, hey, this guy can play.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. We get Keyshawn. You get a conditional draft pick. You know, let's make it. He made that nice play on that ball. I don't know if it was a duck or Brady got hit, but that floated down the line that he readjusted.
Yes.
That was good.
It was.
And he made some other decent plays. You know, I was impressed with him.
Yeah, I mean, but I do welcome the idea of getting LaFell back. I mean, he quite
was
the
great.
presence.
Yeah, he had like over 900 yards receiving last year and kind of started late with us and really kind of exploded on the scene. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be great to have, because right now it seems to be like our go-to guys are, you know, 5'10" and smaller, you know, besides the behemoth, you know, obviously. So I did kind of the symmetry of our offense. You know, it's like, okay, one gigantic 6'7" tight end and another 6'7" tight end. Oh, one little dude that runs around and catches a shit ton of passes.
Yeah.
Oh, another dude that runs around and catches a shit ton of passes. I just dig it.
Yeah.
Know? Now we just got to get another LeGarrette Blount.
Right.
Just, you know, hit him with the wishbone. But excited. So it was an early game this week, right? 1 Easton, I believe.
That's right.
For the Jets, you know. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think, obviously, if you protect the franchise, you have a chance to win. You know, because I think the defense is going to be there, and they're going to be able to, you know, give Ryan Fitz some problems, you know. And, you know, I don't see the Jets, you know, scoring more than 17 points. So I got to think that the Pats can get more than that versus the vaunted Jets D.
I do. I mean, but I do think it's going to be close.
And we're averaging 36. You're going to care to put out
a score?
Yeah? Are you going to do that?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
You don't want it.
I don't know. I mean, it's just, I'm from the Belichickian school, and that would be going on. It was kind of like a test. You know, I'm from the Belichickian school. We respect our opponents.
Did I just fail?
I mean, well, you didn't. I mean,
I didn't give any. I didn't.
You
say
didn't
anything.
give an answer, but it's because I kind of stopped you.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe I'm new to this, so I'm still learning the program.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm like a rookie on the Patriots. You know, I was about to talk, and they gave me the sign. That's it.
Just say cliches.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the sign they gave you. Well, the Jets are a real good football team.
Real good.
I mean, they're well coached. They're good in all three facets. It's going to be a tough game, hard-fought battle. They're really well coached over there, et cetera, et cetera. I can't wait till next week. Sunday can't come here fast enough. I love every time the Pats and Jets get together. It's just a fun time.
Yes.
Anything else you want to say before we sign off for the week for these fine people?
Well, I would like to bring up one of the, we're talking about impressive players who's impressed you this year.
Yes.
Well, how about quietly Mr. Gostowski?
Oof. I do love Mr. Gostowski, no doubt about that.
I mean, there's a lot of kickers in the league. A lot of teams out there right now just floundering around trying to find a kicker.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in New England...
Boom. 33 yards, no problem.
Boom.
Still booting him.
And this guy is cool as a cucumber, man. He came into what? He replaced what? Who did he replace?
The legend.
The legend.
The legend. The best kicker of all time.
Best kicker.
Who's still doing it out there with the Colts this past weekend.
I mean, when he left New England, we were all just like,
what are we going to do?
What are we going to do? And here comes this Gostowski right in. I mean, within first 6 games, you were like, you forgot about Vinatieri. Never forget about Vinatieri, first off.
Right.
But your worries were gone. Your concerns were gone. And this kid's been...
You're not going to forget about him. There's enough pictures in your man cave about Vinatieri.
That's true.
You're never going to forget about him.
No.
But I hear you. I mean, having Gostowski, and that just goes to what Belichick, it's just another feather in his cap. He realizes how important that position is. He spends a 4th-round draft pick at taking the kid out of Memphis. Gostowski. Okay, now we're going to be locked up for the next 15 years at kicker. Lovely. Right. Other teams try and get these guys such an important position and try and get guys off the free agent heap, get these undrafted free agents come in and they think they're going to be, incredible kickers. Why he respects the specialists so much, another example of how he does, was the kid he took this year out of the Naval Academy, Joe Cardona, the long snapper. People don't draft long snappers. And they spent like a 4th or 5th rounder on him. It was like the highest ever a long snapper has been drafted. And that's because he realizes the importance of the position, apparently more so than all the other coaches he's intimidating in the league. And and he spends it. And it's just it's just such an honor for us to cheer for this football team. You know what?
I have a
really
question.
Is.
What is it with why does he like a left foot punter?
I don't have that answer for you. I think it's just because the spin comes off different.
It's a different spin that they're used to.
Exactly. It's different because it's counterclockwise off a righty and clockwise on
so the thought is here maybe that the returners are so used to getting it off the right foot that now they're getting a different spin. It's just a slight edge. And it's all about slight edges. That's where he succeeds on
That's his money.
That's it.
That's his money.
That's it.
So we are so fortunate to cheer for this. Thank you for the Patriots being our team. Thank you for Tom Brady. Thank you for Bill Belichick. I'm not even religious, but I just like prayed there. We are fortunate. I think anybody that is like kind of a fan of the Patriots that's like 21 or 25 or younger, they have to go back and rewatch the 91 1-15 season, I think, before they watch another game. Or maybe they watch a 1-15 UMel and Pats team, before each game. Maybe they watch the Week 7 game of whatever happened in 91 or Week 7.
Right.
I think.
Do we have to?
I think Reggie Dupod had a nice game. No,
okay.
I don't know. We don't.
Yeah.
But we have to.
I do like. I could use a little Urban Fryer highlight clip.
Urban's in tough going right now.
I know. He used
arrested.
to do the. I know. Bank fraud with his mother. What? Yeah.
His mom should know about
But he did, by the way, he used to do the Urban Fryer. He used to do the Pee Wee Herman dance in the end zone. And you know who did it this week?
Yes, I saw that. Who was that?
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith did it this week.
I enjoyed that. A little old school.
Steve Smith not going to retire, by the way.
No?
He said this was going to be a swan song, but he's still a monster.
And he broke a rib. He's still out there. He's a player.
He's an animal.
Yeah.
He'd be great to see in a Patriots uniform at some point. We're going to have to sign off, Jay. Anything you want to tell the fine folks before we get out of here?
Get through the week and get ready for Sunday.
Absolutely.
Only a couple days left. You're almost there.
Absolutely, guys. Hey, we'll be here every Wednesday at 9:05 p.m. Pacific time. So check us out. And hit us up on the comments page on YouTube if there's you can give us a hint on any songs you want us to lead in with the show or any discussions you want to throw out that we could talk about next week.
Would love it.
Whew. For Jason Cherella.
Are we sponsored by FanDuel? No.
I'm Mike Conley.
Everyone
we
else
are
is.
not.
Okay, good.
Later, guys. Go Pats.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.